Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna share with you everything that I wish I knew before my trip to Guatemala. So basically, I'm gonna share our travel itinerary, the budget, but also transportation we use, food, and some other travel advice. For the reference, I've been traveling in South America and Central America for 3 months with my boyfriend, so everything is based on my personal experience. So let's dive into Guatemala. Guatemala has so many things to offer, from beaches, altitude lake, but also Maya ruins, and of course, cultural heritage side. We were really lucky because with my boyfriend we visited during Semana Santa, so it's the Holy Week leading to Easter, and the country will transform itself. There are so many celebrations ongoing and it was really nice to witness them all. In a nutshell, our 17 days itinerary looked like that. We landed at La Aurora International Airport of Guatemala, then we headed straight to Antigua for 4 days in total, including a small excursion to Acoltenango of 1 night. Afterwards, we went to Lake Atitlan in the village of San Juan de la Laguna for another 3 days. On our way to the other coast of Guatemala, we made a stop on Semuc for 2 days before reaching Rio Dulce. There we sailed around the Lake Izabal for 7 days, and we ended our trip at Guatemala City for 1 day. As soon as we landed in Guatemala City Airport, we took a cab straight to Antigua. Antigua is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with a lot of colonial charm. In Antigua, you have multiple things to do. We hiked to Cerro de la Cruz viewpoint, but also just stroll around in the colorful street. We enter one of the fanciest McDonald's I've ever seen in the world. They renovated a full hacienda, and they even have a small museum inside. It was really impressive for a fast food chain, you know. Otherwise, we also visited one museum called Munag. It's free, by the way. We went inside the Iglesia de la Mercedes. And of course, we couldn't miss passing under the famous Arco de Santa Catalina. Don't miss Antigua Colorful Market to taste many fruits and veggies. It's the perfect place to immerse yourself in the local culture. We also enjoy our time being in Antigua to plan a bit the trip because we were mostly traveling day by day. And we wanted to do absolutely the famous excursion to Acoltenango. We booked a 2-day tour from one of the tour operators in Antigua. Not to worry, there are plenty of it, so you should go to some of them and bargain and see their prices to find the best one, and the one also that fits your need, because they have different offering and of course service level, but I will say mostly comfort. For us, we paid 550 quetzales per person, which was a good fair price, around 50 Canadian dollar, which included the guide, the overnight stay, but also the meals, the breakfast the next morning, the dinner, and the lunch included with that. And we had enough food, so we didn't really need to bring additional snacks or anything. The hike climbs at 1,500 meters high over 8 kilometers, so it's definitely a challenge. You'll need to be somehow fit. Don't underestimate it. Especially since you're climbing up to nearly 4,000 meters high, you can suffer from altitude sickness as oxygen is becoming scarce. The scenery changes dramatically as you ascend from farmland to humid jungle, pine forest, and finally volcanic rock. But not to worry, the guys also are there to help you out. They do multiple stops for you to reach the summit. We climb in total with a group of 10 people. Also, once you reach the base camp, they will ask you if you wish to continue further and go to the Fuego volcano, which is attached to the Acoltenango volcano. Us, we couldn't resist to go. It's an additional 2 to 3 hour hike though, because you're going down and up and then down and up again, so you need to really be willing to do so. We were not lucky at the beginning because the volcanoes were all in the clouds and we were seeing nothing, but thank God the cloud came out and were blown away and we could enjoy the sunset on the Fuego volcano. And so a bit the eruption, it was not as impressive as on Instagram, but still it was really nice. On the evening it can be really cold at the top of the volcano, so I would recommend to layer up a lot. I had my headband, but also my gloves and my -10 jacket. We were lucky because we were only 10 in the group. Like our cabin was not full, so we could use extra sleeping bag and we slept really well. Anyway, you're not sleeping a lot because you need to wake up around 3 to climb to the top of the Acatenango and watch the sunrise. But it's so worth it to wake up that early because it was really one of the highlights. I mean, the view is impressive and you are above the sea clouds. It's beautiful. You finish usually the tour back in Antigua and you're full of dust and you just want to rest and sleep. So this is why we stayed one night additional in Antigua just to reset, clean ourselves, and then we were ready to go to Lake Atitlan. In Lake Atitlan, there is many villages where you can choose from where to stay. Us, based on a French recommendation, we stayed in San Juan de la Laguna because we really enjoyed the vibe of this village. It's like super artistic. You have a lot of street art, but also like a mirador, and you can hike to the Indian Nose. So there are several activities that you can do, and if you like shopping maybe for touristic stuff, you have a street full of that. And there is also a lot of like eating options, so this is why we really enjoyed. We enjoy also that San Juan de la Laguna was a nice base to explore the area. It was quite central. We headed, of course, to other villages to see the vibe and the atmosphere. We also really enjoyed Santa Cruz de la Laguna, but the village is on top of the hill, so you need to climb all the way up and it's super steep. But you have like a hostel down and there is a nice hike that you can do all the way to San Marcos, where it's more hippie vibe oriented and a lot of like backpackers stay there for Spanish school, but we already knew how to speak Spanish, so we were not really interested in that. But it's also good to know if it's one of the activities you wish to do. Something that I did not mention also about the hike is that it leads to kind of secret hidden beach where you can stop and like just swim in the lake, so it's also another plus. In addition of all these villages, we also went to San Pedro, but this one we hated it because it was like the party hub of the Lake Atitlan and we were not at all in the mood. But if you are, please, this is your spot to go. Next, we headed to Semuk-Champe, so it's a place lost in the middle of the jungle with crystal turquoise pool where you can swim. It's really relaxing and it's basically in the middle of nowhere but on the road between Lake Atitlan and Rio Dulce, so that's why it's the perfect stop if you want to break the road and enjoy a bit more Guatemala's wonders. We decided to stay in the jungle next to Semuk-Champe because like it was easier to go to all the major attractions because you're next to the side, like around 5 to 10 minutes walk, which is ideal. Apart from swimming in the natural side, we also did the small hike of 40 minutes to go to the viewpoint where you see the beautiful limestone bridge, because yeah, it's this vertical formation that allows you to refresh in the beautiful crystal pools down below. We were also blessed by older monkey that we could witness on our way down. They are really noisy, so you will experience it can be really impressive, their sound. That's why they're called howler monkey. And what we did not expect was outside of Semuk-Champe, there is like a cave tour that you can do. And this was really the highlight of our stay in Semuk because we did not expect nothing at all from this cave tour. I mean, we've done a lot, but this one is really particular because you need to go in it with a candle that you carry like that in your hand during all the exploration. It's a bit like Indiana Jones adventure style, so it's really fun. You have also to take ropes and you can climb in the waterfall and you can sledge. So, you know, there is much of activity to do there, and we did not expect it at all, and we ended by loving it. Regarding the prices, we paid around 50 quetzales to enter Semuk-Champe and 85 quetzales for the entrance of the cave and also the guide and the water shoes, because yes, you will need water shoes to enter the cave, otherwise they will not let you in. But you can borrow them, of course, there directly. We continued our trip to Rio Dulce with a really special adventure. We were sailing for 6 days. I was so happy because I really wanted to integrate an experience like that in our 3 months itinerary, and it ended up to be in Guatemala. So that's why it's a bit the real reason that we visited Guatemala. Of course, we also wanted to discover the country, so that's why we did a few days before, and now we are sailing. I found a crewing opportunity through a Facebook group called Les Voileux du Québec to join a boat owners cruising in Guatemala. but there are many others that exist and even websites where you can look for search opportunities. After a few messages and phone calls, we decided to make this dream a reality, and this is how we met Charlotte and Jan in real life in Rio Dulce. They picked us up from the jetty and to bring us to their boat, Argonaut. Together, we cruised mainly on Lake Izabal. It was a true immersion into life on a sailing boat. From daily routines to learning sailing techniques, Charlotte, who was also a sailing instructor, was incredibly patient and taught us so much about navigation, maneuvers, and boat handling. We took turns at the helm, adjusted the sail, and really got involved. Beyond sailing, we also went kayaking, explored local villages, hiked to the Sea Car Canyon near the town of El Estor, and tubed down the river. It was refreshing to experience a less touristic side of Guatemala. I mean, we only see one or two foreign travelers and that's it. We paid $480 for the boat excursion, including the housing but also the meals. We had of course some extra like the tubing I just said earlier, but apart from that, that was it. I mean, it was a package, you know. We ended our Guatemala trip in the Guatemala city. A lot of people did not advise us to go, saying it was dangerous, it was not safe, and so on. But we didn't really listen, and actually we felt really safe the whole time. But whatever. We decided to go because the next morning we had our flight from Guatemala City Airport. Prices were insane everywhere in the country because of Semana Santa, so it was way cheaper for us to just sleep there and also closer to the airport. So all in all, really more convenient. And actually, we had really a nice time in Guatemala City. Like the historical center is lovely to stroll around. And we were blessed, of course, with Semana Santa celebration all around the city. So we witnessed like procession, and also we were invited to create alfombras with the local, which was really a highlight of our trip. So alfombras, if you don't know, is like sawdust drawings that they do on the floor, and the procession basically walk on it. Apparently it's to give them blessing, if I'm not mistaken. But really, we had a lovely time there, and I would highly recommend to go if you are traveling in Guatemala. I mean, it's the capital after all. Looking back a bit of what we missed, well, we haven't had time to explore the ruins of Tikal or even the city of Flores, also the coastline of Guatemala with Livingstone and the Caribbean culture, or El Paradon with all the surfers' paradise. But well, this is the sad part of traveling. You need to make choices. And for us, we really wanted to prioritize the sailing opportunity because I feel it's like one of a lifetime experience. But anyway, like that, we still have places to explore in Guatemala for a future trip. For more details about the trip, you can still watch our Pola Step. The link is in the description down below. And otherwise, I made a lot of reels about the itinerary and our travel in South America on Instagram, TikTok, and also even YouTube Shorts, so you can check it out. Let's talk about money. I know that a lot of you ask me, how much should I budget for Guatemala? How much does it cost? Well, I will get back to you in a few seconds. But before, you need to know that all the personal advice that I'm giving is based on my personal experience. But I also want to share how I access my money abroad. So basically, I use a Canadian bank online that has no fee, no exchange fees. It's well simple. I'm really happy about their service because there is no hidden fee at all. I use for both of my daily life in Canada, for my investments, and for traveling. I love it. The only downside, their card doesn't include travel insurance, but there is a solution, like Amex card or travel insurance such as Heymundo. For me, that's a must, especially after experiencing accidents and injuries while traveling. Having a Mundo gives me peace of mind knowing I'm covered if anything happens. You can review all these options in my other video about everything I wish I knew before backpacking to Latin America. By the way, if you're interested in those options, I still put a link in the description below where you will find some referral codes and have a small welcome bonus if you subscribe to one of their service. Regarding how we withdraw money, well, it was pretty easy for us. We just went at the ATM with our cards, but be careful there. Like, I would advise you to check them all before withdrawing any money to see how much fee they charge you. Nevertheless, we really appreciate Back Bank in Guatemala because it's there that we find the lowest fees for us. Now, what you were all waiting for, the actual budget of my trip to Guatemala. Quick disclaimer, this is only my expenses, but remember that I've been traveling as a couple and also that we were backpacking because it can really vary a lot depending on your travel style. And we added a boat journey experience that not a lot of people in Guatemala do. In Guatemala, I spent $1,290 for 17 days, which is more or less $75 per day. Don't forget to bargain because this will save you a lot of money. Now, let's talk about food. We ate a lot of comida típica, rice, beans, grilled meat, fresh tortillas. Guatemala cuisine is really similar to the Mexican one, but there are still some differences. We enjoy a lot of street food, it's a must. When we wanted something sweet, we grabbed a choco banano, they're all delicious. Speaking of drinks, Guatemala is really famous for its coffee, but there is also a lot of chocolate, and I was really happy to discover a kind of cacao tea that is made of chocolate like beans. It was really interesting to taste it, and I still have it at home too. They do have micheladas too. Getting around Guatemala is an experience in itself because there is no public transportation, so you will need to take private all the time. As a tourist, we mostly use a lot of touristic shuttle that will go to one major attraction to another. All the prices are in USD though, so it can add up to the trip really fast in your budget. But I mean, it was the fastest and the easiest way to reach one destination, so we had not really a choice. They have also night shuttle, but they are not really comfortable, so be ready to have like a hectic night in the bus. And you will be only with other strangers too, so you don't have really the local experience there. But for that, you can do what is called the chicken bus experience, where you can go to one place in local buses. So it's like old school bus that they basically kind of restyle and put a lot of funky there. They're beautiful, the buses, I love them. It's not that well secure, I mean there is no seat belt in the buses, and even in the shuttle one, sometimes there is no seat belt. So anyway, try to wear it when it's possible. Otherwise, for the chicken bus, it's really a fun experience because you get to see how local really like go to one place to another. It's really cheap, but yeah, just be ready to take a lot of time ahead in front of you. Sadly, there are not a lot of coach buses in Guatemala, but there is still one or two lines that you can take. Antigua company from Rio Dulce to Guatemala City, and it was maybe the most comfortable coach that we had in Guatemala throughout our trip. Well, Guatemala is not really known for its good buses services compared to the rest of Latin America, but anyway, it's still there and you need to use it. For smaller distances, like from one city to another, if they were really short along, for example, the shore of like Atitlan, we were using lanchas or even sometimes tuk-tuk. And that's a wrap. It's everything I wish I knew before my trip to Guatemala. I hope that you find this video helpful and that it will help you to organize your upcoming trip in Guatemala. Also, if you have any further questions, please feel free to comment them in the comment box below, like that I can respond to you. And if some of you in the community have already been traveling to Guatemala and you feel like there's stuff missing, please share your recommendation in the comment section below. If you're interested to learn more in our Latin American journey, please hit that subscribe button, and in the meanwhile, explore your surroundings. Bisous bisous!